no grandma out there said, I like Deadpool. I just wish you stop all that cussing. Ain't nobody trying to see this shit, man. The kids that want to see this saw it. That stick in the mud, stick up your ass family out there that wouldn't let them see Deadpool, they ain't letting them see this shit either. Hell no, you ain't going to see Deadpool. That's against Jesus. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Deadpool. Might have heard of. Had a movie where he cussed a lot and killed people in the most violent and bloody ways. And then his company was bought up by Disney. And the mouse said, you know, we don't allow that shit over here. Well, you just did. I'm fucking the mouse. You don't tell me what. You do what I say, not as I do. They said, if you're going to come over here and you're going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you want to be an Avenger, you got to clean up your act. Can't be doing that. You clean. Look, I don't mind you slicing somebody in half. Just make sure there's no blood. Yeah, I'll give you a curse word or two, but if it's really harsh, bleep it out. You know, and I know the movies say fuck one time. We don't do that over here. No, I don't do that at all. And they call this, we're talking about Once Upon a Deadpool. And what they're doing is they're calling this an experiment. You know, they want to see if they can actually bring Deadpool over, a rated R property, scrub it down a little bit, and see if they can make it something to where not only the kids can enjoy it, but they can still keep the original fans happy. So they've re-released it, and they've taken out all the nasty stuff in there, all the violent stuff in there. But they said, hey, you know what? We it's not like we just cut it down. It's not like we're going to take stuff out, not give you anything. We got something to give back to you. We got Fred Savage in here. How's that for you? TV's Fred Savage. How is that? How's that deal right there? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at the trailer, and then we'll come back with our review.
I loved your working up. I'm sorry?
Don't get too attached. We are Marvel. Marvel licensed by Fox. It's like if the Beatles were produced by Nickelback. It's music, but it sucks.
I'm going to start this off on a positive note and tell you that now, if your kids have been begging you to see Deadpool, you know, Dad, if the kids been you've been cool, you've been like, look, I'd take you. My mama say you can't go. You can't see that. I know you good. You old enough to see that, but you know, we want to piss off. So now is the moment to get this little son of a bitch off your back and say, all right, you want to go see it? Now you can. With the new, fresh PG-13 Deadpool that we have here. You want to take them? Fine. But don't you take your growing ass up in there. Do not, if you are a man or a woman, if you are an adult, you are too goddamn old to be ripped off and conned like this. Do you hear what I'm saying, Martin? Am I wrong?
Oh, you're not wrong at all. I was so mad.
Yeah, talking about this is an experiment to see if we can make it PG-13. No, bullshit. This is a con.
Double dip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Double dip. You know,
because for months this was just billed as the Deadpool Christmas movie.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay, they got something new already. Same year, that's odd. And then Once Upon a Deadpool, and I'm like, all right, I'm not seeing trailers, and I like to go into these things cold. And starts out with Fred Savage, and I was like, oh yeah, little Fred Savage. This is funny. And then they proceeded to show me the same movie that I'd watched already.
Yeah.
That I wasn't all that crazy about the first time.
Yeah. They talking about an experiment. You know what? You experiment with home video.
Yes.
You don't put this in a theater and ask for people to see a watered-down version. A watered-down version of what we already have seen.
I don't even think it's all that watered down. If you didn't want your kids to see Deadpool 2 when it came out back in March, you're not going to want them to see this one either. It's practically just as bad.
Yeah, you know, because... Well, I will say that's what we were talking about.
If you think this one's okay.
Well, I see people when they say that we're putting this, we're trying to make this kid friendly and family friendly. That's a marketing campaign just to get just to pay more money to get your kids in. I told you we have a loose version of what PG-13 is today. PG-13 is not always kid stuff. I'm not saying that kids can't handle it, but this is not some kids movie.
No,
and you know what? I will say that watching this, it did let me notice or allow me to see how it's what I said before. If they want to take Daredevil, they want to take Daredevil and bring Daredevil into the Marvel Cinematic Universe proper and everybody's worried about, oh man, they ain't gonna have the same edge. You can do it.
Of course you can.
Yeah, you can. And I tell you, it's all a matter of a good story. If they had taken Daredevil season 3 and took some of the blood out of it, and some of the rougher things that made it mature, that would have been cool. Because Daredevil season 3 had a great story. Deadpool 2 don't.
No.
You know, what really got me with this is that they're trying to, let's take the kid stuff out of it. They're trying to get other people in there. I don't know how. I don't know why. Because this is not for a new adult audience out there. You don't gain anything from watching this. They're not gaining a new adult audience. No one. No, I challenge you, and don't bullshit me. I challenge you to find that one adult who loved Deadpool, the one that says, you know something, I would really like this better if they made it more family friendly. There's not one person that has said that. There's not one.
But how did they do it? Do they just take out the cussing, just take out the blood, cut out story
elements?
elements?
That's what they did, yeah. They took out the blood and the cursing. That's it. And the story elements are kind of still in there.
They're still in there. I mean, they may have taken some jokes out just because they add the Fred Savage parts. And the thing is, I can admit that the Fred Savage parts were actually my favorite thing about this.
Yeah.
Not just because they were new, but one, I thought they were funny. But B, he talked shit about this movie and said all the things I said were wrong with it the first time. Because he kept pointing out stuff. I was like, thank you. Somebody said it.
There's a moment in the review where I even said, because I pull up a clip where they said, well, that's just lazy writing. And I said, yes, it is lazy writing. And just because you make fun of it does not excuse it.
Yeah.
Fred Savage came in and said, you guys were right.
Well, even he brought up the thing that bothered me to no end early in the beginning of the movie when they kill Vanessa. And he's like, so you just fridged Vanessa? and he had to explain what fridging was. I was like, yeah, that's kind of egregious in this day and age to just do that to a character who was so strong the first time.
Yeah. And this is... Look, I don't know. I really don't know what y'all are hoping to do with this. Besides, like I say, just get suckers to pay more money for this, because it ain't like Black Panther where you're gonna get. Look, because if you're gonna get minimal kids in here. You ain't getting no more adults. No. You ain't getting the family to come see this like people did with Black Panther. Ain't no grandma out there saying, I like Deadpool. I just wish you stop all that cussing. Ain't nobody trying to see this shit, man. And
now the dirtbags can bring their kids.
No, because they brought them before.
Exactly. Yeah.
The kids that want to see this solid. That stick in the mud, stick up your ass family out there that wouldn't let them see Deadpool. They ain't letting them see this shit either. Hell no, you ain't going to see Deadpool. That's against Jesus.
But it's now.
Yeah. I mean, and furthermore, I know that there are new releases that are done all the time. Lion King does it. We have summer classic film festivals where they re-release stuff, but they release the movies. They re-release them intact. If anything, they add more to it. And yes, I know that they added some things here. They added Fred Savage, and I love Fred Savage in this, man. Those moments that they do that they have Fred Savage in there, those are some of the funniest moments.
But you know what?
Because they're new.
There's not enough of them.
No, there's not. And not that you need it more. I want in the show, and even putting Fred Savage in there kind of proves the point that what y'all are doing is pointless. Because when I got some hard laughs in this, and Deadpool and Fred Savage make a great team together.
Yeah, they do.
I would watch a movie where they just went on a road trip, and some of the jokes are funnier with them together.
What the Easy now. You're in a PG-13 version of Deadpool 2, which means we only get one.
Are you bleeping yourself?
You bet your voice and little time.
Do you notice something here? Even the funniest parts of the movie rely on rated R humor.
Got a point.
Sure, adding Fred Savage in the movie is funny, but it's about 15 minutes of Fred Savage in here.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but 15 minutes of Fred Savage and Deadpool ain't worth a new price of admission. Ain't worth a theater ticket.
And I have two questions about that. One, is he in that bed the whole time?
Yes.
Yeah.
God damn it. And two, do they ever show Ryan Reynolds' face? Or is it just a body double where he does the voiceover in the studio?
You know what? That probably isn't Ryan Reynolds there.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah.
So he just did voiceover, and they had one guy in the suit running around doing all this action for him. So that's like the easiest / laziest production to make that little extra 15 minutes.
I mean, but
it's
we
like
don't. But we don't know. You know, what I mean, for all we know, the joke might be it is him. He's so dedicated to the character because he knows that people like you said will call him out on it. So you know, which
Deadpool right now.
Pikachu.
Yeah,
that's done. It's all voiceover.
Yeah.
So did he record? While he's doing voiceover for Pikachu, was he doing voiceover for that?
But the thing is, we don't know.
Cheap.
I mean, it don't know. I don't want to say unless we know.
Well, the idea is that they made it on the cheap. It feels like because if Fred Savage and them are only in one position, they could have shot that in 2-3 days at most, and then the voiceover could have been done whenever after.
Yeah, if they spent more than a day on that, it's because they were fucking around.
Yeah,
So.
And I'm you know what.
Can I ask one thing before I go?
No, please.
I saw they added that joke in there talking about I loved your working up. Like, did they add more jokes than that? Or is it just...
That's one of the jokes that actually works in there because they added that in there.
Yeah.
You know what?
Actually, I think the jokes they add are better than... were good.
Okay, because that was actually, I'd say, funnier than a lot of the stuff that was in Deadpool 2. The unrated one.
You bring up a good point, Corey, because... It seems like maybe myself, and I don't want to speak for Martin, but it maybe sounds like Martin and myself are harping on this because they took out the cussing, they took out the violence. I actually think that this is interesting in that they show how seeing this in a new way kind of exposed the weakness of the original.
No, that's all I thought the whole time. I was like, man, sometimes you see a movie and you're not that crazy about it, and then you watch it later, and you go like, wow, I'm watching it in a different way. Maybe I don't have the same expectations, or I see something else, and now I like this movie a whole lot. That's how it was for me with Up in the Air and the Terminal, and I thought, well, maybe that could be the same thing with Deadpool 2. But watching it this way, I was just like, ugh, no, I kind of doubled down on how
I mean, they showed how parts of Deadpool really did just rely too much on being edgy and crude and violent. How some parts were just too excessive, crass and violent. They leaned on it too much. I mean, there's the part that takes place in the third act with the hospital with the kids, the orphanage. That to me that was kind of over the top at a certain point, and they trimmed it down. And I thought it's bad writing that they can't cover, which was in the original, but. This did flow better without them having to stop to just show you how we're going to decapitate somebody with a cabinet.
Yeah. I mean, the toning down the violence and the cussing, it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either. Because here's what you should do. Don't try to go the cheap way out by releasing something and saying it's an experiment. I have a feeling that I know people are not going to like this, but if they were to start fresh and write a very hard-edged PG-13 version of Deadpool, maybe that might work. Because like we saw right here, that up joke right there, that's one of the funniest things in the movie. Yeah. And I think it's funnier than some of the stuff they had in the original movie. Yeah. Even then, I will say for what Deadpool is now, for the way they wrote him and for how I thought the second script was kind of weak, taking the edge out of it, taking all the cussing and violence out of it, you took out the stuff that really just kind of made the movie in the first place. That story is not that good. No. That whole thing with the whole storyline with Russell, the kid that's in the movie, that I don't like that actor. I'm not saying he's a bad actor, but in that movie I didn't like him. I thought his storyline was bad.
Yeah.
That the whole thing. I thought the whole thing with the orphanage at the end was. You had characters you didn't even know, the headmaster and everything. They just threw characters in there to say I'm abused and this is why I'm evil.
Turning Eddie Marzan, the headmaster, into a religious zealot at the end. I was like, and
you never knew what was going on with that. Don't fall for this. All right, I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah, it's if they want to do another PG-13 version of this, and I'm willing to even try that, and I think. To some extent, it can succeed, but y'all don't y'all get duped by this.
It seems more like they would put this version on the DVD.
Yeah.
So you could watch it either way,
or you could just have them both side by side during Christmas and be like, for the kids, for the adults.
Yeah.
If you ever went and fell for that whole thing of the new unrated version or the new uncut version or the director's cut, and then you got home and like, this don't make a bit of fucking difference right here.
Right.
That is what you are going to be paying for, except it's on the big screen and you can only watch it once. You can't rewind it. You can't stop it.
Can't stop it.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
See, they're chaining them down in the seats.
duct tape his legs like in the movie.
Another thing that's added at the end, past the credits, is a big tribute to Stan Lee, and it's sweet. But I gotta say, man, after the cameo they did in Into the Spider-Verse, it just felt schmaltzy and overdone.
And you know what? That cameo, I heard, and I'm not sure because I didn't see it. I heard you can find it online.
Oh.
So you still don't have to go see this. You got no excuse. Sit your ass down. Put them keys back. Shut up.
Stan wouldn't want you to see this shit, man.
Yeah. Take fucking Deadpool out the cabinet and put that shit on if you really want to see it. Don't you? You know what? I'm just gonna stand in front of the theater and just tell people get away.
Out there with a cardboard sign.
See, if they do the new one, they have to get Ben Savage to do it, though. Because everybody loves Corey Matthews.
To me, it's not even a real movie.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Not a real movie.
I mean, it's
a new rating.
Yeah,
right there.
it's not even a real movie. But you know what?
I'd say rent it because you already have.
But you already have it, so it's bullshit. You got a better version right there in your house. Sit down. Go anywhere. All right. Do this last movie over here. Kind of got me a little irritated. They're going to do this. You think I'm stupid? You sat your ass up 2 hours to watch it, didn't you?
Well, we didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was, man, I was so like, you got to be kidding me. Why am I here?
Do you like what you've just seen? Well, you must have. I mean, you're still sitting there. Just go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know you want to. And if you want more of it, then go over to our website, doubletoasted.com, where you can not only see a longer form version of this video right here, but also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us over at dtmerch.com. And remember, stay toasted.